Well, that's embarrassing. What's wrong with my soundboard? Hey, Jim. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for your follow. Have we met before, or how did you find us? Calgary, Canada. Well, hello from Manchester, UK. How are you doing? Having a good time? I'm going to spam the chat a few more times to see if I can't get this to work. Okay, so that's working. There we go. No idea why that wasn't working, but let's just pretend that I had a proper entry like normal. Okay. Thank you, Jim, for verifying. Jim Fick. I'm probably butchering that, but I'm going to call you Jim if that's alright. Seen you on the Discords. Well, welcome to my stream. Hey, Fresh, good to see you. Is the soundboard loud enough? Let's try something. Could possibly do with being a bit louder. Let's see if I turn the music down a bit. Oh, maybe I can't turn the music down a bit. Oh well. Is it Calgary airport code? Are you a plane spotter, Jim? That's pretty cool if you are. Right. So, plan for today is, if I switch over here, I've been working on a game, and I should probably add that into the Twitch. Twitch game. We are playing Leaper. And I'll pop a link in chat. Fresh has just played Leaper. Okay, hold on to your hats, guys. The bug reports are about to start rolling in. You love the concept of aviation in general. Well, that's pretty cool. You have any aspirations to fly a plane, do your license, anything like that? Jumping islands or ships? It is basically a clone of 1980s arcade Leaper. It's a clone of this game. Where basically you are presented with a series of platforms and you need to work your way up the platforms without dying. Ah, Xanderwood! Welcome to the chat. Well, I was very happy with my my last entry. I wonder if I can do that again. But yeah, so that is what the original Leaper game is. And then my version of it is slightly different. It's a bit more of a modern platforming style. And yeah, I released an MVP today, so we can actually submit to the competition at any point, really. But we've still got plenty of time to do polish, so I'm hoping that it's going to be pretty nice by the time we're done. Just popped in for a bit while I finish up my Barky's Game Jam game. Ah, cool. Well, you're very welcome, Xander. Jim, you had desired to be a private pilot. Too expensive. Simple flight sims good enough for me. So, short detour. When I was in high school, or secondary school, or college, or whatever you call it, depending on where you are, one of my friends at school's dads worked as an engineer for the pilot school. And so his job was to maintain all of the flight simulators that the pilots trained on. So on a couple of occasions, we got to sneak in after hours and actually fly the closest thing to a real plane that I will ever get to in my life. Fingers crossed, because if you're flying a real plane and you're not qualified, you're not in a great position. But one, it is incredibly difficult to crash a plane because there's such a ridiculous amount of like fail safes that you actually have to try hard to break the plane. And also, the general rule of thumb is if a light is flashing, push the button. So if you ever find yourself in a cockpit and some lights are flashing, just push them until they stop flashing, and you're more or less likely to land the plane. So, used to work in a simulator lab in the water. That's pretty cool. You can verify my my ridiculous claims. Yanni from across the pond, big reveal. What is the big reveal? I'm not quite following. I am from across the pond. I am British. Well, I'm not British. Gosh, you just stop throwing big claims like that around. I am German, but I've lived in the UK for 15 plus years, and my wife is British, and my kids are becoming more British by the day. So, well, there we are anyway. We had a 5 projector outside a faked cockpit and a bathtub sim. I like the idea of this bathtub sim. That sounds like fun. There's a bug in your Leaper game. If you jump up on the last platform and there are blocks under the top line blocks. Oh gosh, Sander, I'm going to have to reread that. There's a bug in your Leaper game. If you jump up on the last platform where the blocks are, let's just jump right on in. And game start. If you jump up on the last platform where the blocks are, under the top line blocks, if you are on the left, less than 0, on the X, or more than your X, right, you'll get stuck off screen between them. Yeah, there's a couple of times I've gotten stuck off the screen. I've got to be a bit careful with the block placement. Or make the blocks more design focused than actually like obstructing the view. Because right now, it's not super intuitive to play either, because you see walls and sometimes you can go through walls and sometimes you can't go through walls. So I can't go through that block. I can try and get myself squashed in a little bit. So this is a wall platform, technically speaking. Yeah, there, now I'm stuck kind of in this layer. Until that comes through and I fall out again. It's kind of the problem with this kind of structure. There's always going to be some edge cases where you can get yourself stuck in walls. I don't know how important it is to cater for all of those. But I would quite like to have at least a couple of visual aids for this. So these blocks here are like a platform. Below that, I can go left and right, even though it's a solid wall. However, if I just quickly die, at the bottom again, that's a solid wall. So I need to do something where I can visually distinguish between when you can go off the side of the screen and when you can't. or I have to make it so that you can basically always go off the screen. But that's kind of the level design aspect that I've not quite gotten to yet. Oh gosh, Fresh sent me stuff via Discord. Go under it off screen. If I go off screen here, let's just hide these. Oh, well, don't die. Let's just get rid of the enemies for a second. If I go under it and off screen, I'm off screen now. I've got some fake platforms here to stop me from falling through. In theory, I could jump up. And now I'm stuck. I'm stuck behind that block. I'm kind of stuck inside the wall. Right here. Yeah, it's not great. Have I played the original? No, I've not actually downloaded the ROM for the original. But I think it's more rigid movement from what I've seen. It's basically almost like it's tile-based movement. You can go left and right, and you can only jump when there's a space above you. If I understand it correctly. Whoops. That's not a good way of doing this. Okay, so I should have a hidden platform there, so when that gap comes here, yeah, so I'm not going to fall through any gaps if the platforms disappear while I'm off the screen. That was kind of important to me. But it's also not foolproof. Maybe I've got to move the teleporting point closer on screen. Yeah, it's quite funny. There's only really one gameplay video I found off Leaper on YouTube, and it's basically, from the sounds of the accent, a German guy playing it. Never gets past like the 4th platform and then rage quits after 5 minutes. That's the only gameplay video of the original on YouTube that I could find. That was quite funny. It does look like a very difficult game. But yeah, I wanted to make it a bit more fun. So in mine, the difficulty is going to come from getting past the enemies, and I've made quite a few different enemies. But yeah, I do need to iron out the kinks and some stuff like that, because if people get stuck in walls, that's no fun. There's no point in being lots of enemies if people get soft locked. You almost beat the original, Lander. Very good. Jim, I like your reverse concept of tower defender. Great sense of humor. Thanks, mate. So when I'm not letting Sanderwood distract me with GDKO games, Tower Defender is my main project. I'm not going to be doing any work on it today, but I do most streams. Is Leaper bottom left of your screen? No, so that's another project. That was another GDKO game that I did, but It is a level editor game that I made for GDKO recently. The idea behind this game is you can use a level editor to make a level by kind of like putting some tiles down. You can make a little map. You can put spikes down. You can put enemies down. And then you can kind of like test your game, make changes, improve it, and tweak it. And then what you can do is you can save the game. You get a little 5-digit code, and that code lets you share it with your friends. So I actually have in the comments here a bunch of people contributing their levels in the form of a code, and you can kind of share it with your friends and like try and beat each other's times. So I was trying to beat different people's times, and make the game, play the games as fast as possible. And the main reason I did this particular game for GDKO, other than it was a good game for that competition entry, is that is something that I'm going to do for Tower Offender. So that's the next big update for Tower Offender, is going to be a level editor with share codes so that we can get some more levels in. GDKO, good question. GDKO is... Have I got a command for that? Possibly not. GDKO stands for GameDev Knockout, and it is a competition hosted by Xanderwood, who's currently hanging out in the chat. And it is a multi-round knockout competition where Xander sets us challenges every round. Everyone's got a week or two to make a game or game-like entry to fulfill the requirements. And then everyone plays each other's games and rates the titles, and then the people with the bottom scores from that round get eliminated and the rest move on to the next round. So we're currently on round 5. The challenge for round 5 is, funnily enough, recreate a classic arcade game from the 1980s. So hence my cloning of Leaper is going to be my entry for this round. And yeah, it's a pretty fun competition. The challenges are always very creative, and I tend to thrive under strict conditions. So from that point of view, I've really enjoyed these challenges. Awalone. AW Alone. Hey, welcome to the stream. Are the 5 digits like a hash of the generated layout, or are they cloud stored? It is cloud stored. So I have a MySQL server with a hacky PHP backend for storing the serialized layout of the tiles. Just because I tried doing kind of like a layout hash and the codes were just going to be really long. So I kind of abandoned that idea early on, and I've just got some simple background storage. Like in my day job, I'm a web developer, so spinning up a quick server and building a quick API didn't take me very long. Mind you, the one I have made for this is awful. I hacked it together in like an hour, so it's very, very bad. But it has held up thus far, and so it's worked well enough for the competition. I'll be doing a bit more of a sturdy API for when I build this for Tower Offender eventually. Even more interesting, machine learning, computer vision AI. Computer vision AI to play classic arcade games. Nice idea, Jim. Cool. Actually, I should probably replace that GIF in my stream overlay, just because that's not what we're currently working on. So if I go in here and just browse for something else with this one. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Slightly different GIF, so at least people can see what we're working on. For the sake of entropy, unload the level database for public access so it's immortalized and becomes not a deadware in a few weeks. Like later. Unload the level database for public access. I haven't actually thought of what I'm going to do with it once it's no longer in use. So I'm kind of between either I leave the editor game up and continue to maintain that server, or I'll probably just take the game offline and make it no longer usable. Just because I kind of feel like I don't want to maintain servers, and we'll see. If I come up with like a nice, secure, sturdy API backend, and I can work out the whole data access side of things, then I might leave it up. But it's an experiment, and I don't want to like maintain it long term. So I'll probably take the whole game down at some point. Who reaches the final of GDKO? 5 devs make it. You don't need to name 5. So it's difficult, Xander, because from one point, I kind of know who I feel like are my top achievers in terms of who I think have the best ideas, the best execution, the best style. Basically who I would think of based on purely merit, I think would deserve to win the competition. But the point is that at any point, the best traditionally skilled developers can go out just because of time constraints. So, you know, you don't necessarily have to be the best to succeed at GDKO. So it's difficult to predict who's going to be in the final. That's a good point, Alone. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, essentially, yeah. I could take the sharing functionality out, but just pack all of the games that have been made up until that point into like, yeah. It wouldn't be a database snapshot, it would just be like a collection of JSON files. Also, my friend Kev recently pointed out to me that rather than doing my own database server for Tower Offender, Tower Offender is on Steam already, so this is my game Tower Offender on the Steam page. If anyone wants to have a look, it's a long-term project. It's not necessarily finished yet, but there's a demo you can play if you like. Also, if you join the Discord, you can ask to get alpha access and get the latest builds before they hit Steam. But what my friend Kev said was I should consider putting the level editor on the Steam Workshop. Is it the Workshop? Is it Workbench? I think it's called Workshop. And rather than storing them myself on my own server, I could store them all in Steam, which I'm definitely going to consider. I've had a look at the API calls for that, and it's not super easy, but at the same time, it wouldn't take a ton of effort to integrate with it. So that will also be something I'll be doing in the next couple of weeks, just to see how I can get it to work. Do I ever get out of the 16 by 16 pastel platformer art style? You see, I would if I could do any kind of art. Literally all the games that I make, I use art by a guy called Pixel Frog, who has lots of different assets on itch.io. And so basically all the art that I make for games comes from one of his assets. And then I do just about have the ability to tweak pixel art and to make my own assets for specific use cases, but I would never go about like making a whole game myself or making my whole asset pack for myself, just because The amount of time involved that it would take me to do that is just huge. And I'm a hobbyist game dev. I spend like 6 to 8 hours a week on game dev, so I do not have the time to do my own art. Thanks for dropping by, Xander. Have a good evening. I'll chat to you later in Discord. Steamworks.net or Facepunch. So I use the Steamworks own C# wrapper for Unity. So I believe it's the Steamworks.net what do you call it, library that I use. I have seen people talk about Facepunch, but from what I can tell, Facepunch is actually no longer really actively maintained. I felt like I looked at it and it was like 8 years old at some point. Although I might be completely wrong. Facepunch Steamworks wrapper. Recent changes. That's the site. Where's the actual code base? I mean, I'm kind of expecting a Git link somewhere. But yeah, I've not tried using Facepunch. Would you recommend? I'd help with the art if I weren't this insufferable. Oh, December would be more than recent enough. If it was updated within the last 12 months at all, then that's pretty straightforward. Yeah, the Steamworks.net wrapper seems to be working quite fine for me so far. The documentation isn't brilliant either way, because you have to always look at the C++ code to see what the actual API endpoints are, but it seems to work fairly well. I've not had any major issues with the Steam integration. So either way, I'm not too bothered. It seems to do the job. Cool. Thanks, Fresh. You have your little gaming session. I'll chat to you later. I'm just going to check Discord to see how many bugs you've reported, just to see how busy my afternoon is going to be. Sound bugs. The WebGL page is super oversized. Had trouble getting it to full screen button. The level with mushrooms can lead to insta-wipe. When one of the pair spawned, you die over and over. Yep, that's the thing. One thing I would think about is the other side that have fully gone. Okay, that's an idea. The sound bugs I'm aware of, the WebGL build, it is too big. I might play with that a little bit. Cool, thanks, Fresh. Helpful feedback. I'll look into that. Cool. Anyway, the first thing to work on. Let me just play through the game a little bit. What I normally like to do is I like to just play the game a bit, and then when something comes to my attention that I want to change, I change it right there and then. I didn't do something about the walls. Maybe I put no collisions on anything? That could be a solution. I definitely want more sound effects from most of the enemies. They're quite just stationary at the moment. They don't do much. Feel free, guys, in chat to go to the page and have a quick play. Send me any feedback you want. Can't take your eyes off that guy. So this level I'm not super happy with. So the platforms are pretty random. So every time a level starts, there's certain parameters that I can tweak for each of the rooms, but the speed of the platforms, the direction they're traveling in, where the openings are, the length of the platforms, most of that is randomized. So for a little section like this, where you have to get past the turtle, you basically have to wait until 2 platforms line up and you can kind of get through both of them quickly enough that you don't get stuck with that little turtle thing. And it can lead to you just being stood here for a very long time waiting for the right opportunity. Might have to change this level up a bit. See there? That was an opportunity and I've just missed it. That'd be very frustrating. And I'm dead. So from that point of view, I'm not sure if I'm happy with this. There'd have to be an equally difficult but alternative route to go the other way around. Inconsistent pixel scaling. Do I know any Rustlang game devs? No one comes to mind. Although I don't do any Rust, so I probably wouldn't necessarily remember if I saw someone who else was doing Rust. On the font labels especially. Inconsistent pixel sizes on the font labels. Yes, that is not a thing that I am trying to fix. So the font is pixely, but I'm not trying to maintain equal pixel sizes in the fonts and in the game art. To be fair, I'm not even trying to maintain the pixel sizes. Like you can see here. In-game, other than the background, I would say that most of these are consistently sized. I wouldn't know of a reason why they wouldn't be. But if you look at the UI camera, like I'm putting 0 effort into making sure that the pixels are the same in the border, in the font, in the frog. I mean, I suppose if the fonts were that offensive, I could change the fonts for non-pixely fonts. I have to be honest, I care more about things being crisp and not blurry than I care about the pixel sizes matching up. A pixelation shader, those scaled assets fonts are butchered. No, I'm probably not going to bother with that. It's not a high priority for me that stuff like that matches up. And this is not a commercial game where I particularly care about that fine grain of detail. To be fair, as a hobby dev, even for a commercial product, I probably wouldn't bother with that. Like you'll just see, like even like my my particle effects don't match up. You can see I've got like a blurry kind of what would you call it? Dust cloud. That's just too high level of detail for me. Right, which level were we looking at? We were looking at level 4, I think. Let me just put a quick cheat in. So level 1, debug. Let's jump to room 4. Alone, I agree that polish is important and that it's a winning point, but finishing a game is the winning point. And if I cared about that level of granularity that you're talking about, I would never finish a game. Do you still have Comfy Jazz? I was looking through some synth projects. That's how I found you. Comfy Jazz. Is that the... Oh yeah, I remember that. Did I ever put that on my stream? Let me have a quick look. I don't think I can see anything here. That was pretty funny. Here we have some, what do you call it? Procedurally generated jazz. I'm pretty sure even that the more people post in chat, the more runs you get. Yeah, so this jazz is actually linked into my Twitch stream now, which is funny. So yeah, anybody who's interested, have a look at that page. You can kind of pick your own instruments and things as well. Pretty cool. Did my suggestions ever get merged? Oh, looks good. We now have volume for instruments as well. Cool. But yeah. Awalon, I'm going to justify your complaint that to the trained eye, inconsistent pixel sizing is annoying. I will give you that. It definitely is. I personally am not going to fix it in this game, but I have taken your criticism. Okay, so this level basically presents two. Oh, that's really annoying. You can't do that. Oh, that's not good. This level presents two routes. However, both routes have the same challenge, Now for starters, I don't like that, because if you're going to present multiple options to a player, you should be giving them a variation to choose from. This is just basically picking one of the same evils to get past. So I think I will leave one side of this, but I've got to mix the other side up a little bit somehow to actually make it an actual choice. I could do a different enemy, or I could do a different obstacle to overcome. I might just put a smashing head on one side. On quite a narrow path, a smashing head might be quite challenging to get past. So let's see what that looks like. And I think what else I'll do is I will make the smashing head side even narrower. So let's just select these guys and move them over here. I think one's enough. I'm going to delete this turtle, and instead I'm going to put a smashing head here or here. Let's start off here. I think the extra space is going to make this side easier, and this side might still be quite challenging. Let's have a go with that. Okay. And straight away, because it's bugging me already, I'm going to just slightly mix up this guy here. That block's getting in my way. Okay. So it still involves a lot of waiting. Aha. If you're not careful, you drop out. Up. But at least it's a very definite way to get through. I might need to shift the platforms ever so slightly. They don't really line up with the tile set. That might be confusing and annoying. So with these mushrooms, you want to get through proper quick, because if they all fall down to the bottom, there's almost nothing you can do about it. You're just going to die now. Oh, yeah. That is a death level. Thanks for dropping by, Jim. Speak to you later. Okay. That's very doable now. Let me have a think. Maybe I'll put these on the wall here instead of where they are now. Like that. And the foreground kind of covers that. Not a fan of that. It doesn't really solve the issue either. Just do warp points. It's game design complexity times 256. I don't know what you mean by warp points. Now, if I shift the grid just a tiny bit. Something like that. Does that still work? Too close to the top, really. And it doesn't translate to all the platforms, because the platforms are at different heights. I think that feels brilliant. Can't get out that side. So I do kind of have warp points, or however you put it. So if I just hide the... So if I hide the foreground, do the trick. So if I get beyond a certain point, I just pop up on that screen over there. That's how this bit works. but I still need to make sure that there are, whenever I've got blocking conditions, I don't get myself locked up in an annoying position here. Let me just quickly disable these guys. Oh. Where are my enemies? Where are you hiding? Shed and turtle. Oh, okay. Haven't moved you into the level yet. There. So now there's no blocking here. Which is kind of nice. I can do the smooth walking. It just doesn't quite add up. Also, you can get yourself stuck all the time in platforms. That's no fun. So one thing I could do is I could never have any blocking obstacles in the game. But I feel like that makes it a bit boring. Like if all of this detail was just purely decorative. I think that's boring. I'd rather have a few bugs, but a fun game, than a bug-free game that's just boring. I do like this level more now that I've changed the challenge round a bit. Okay, don't fall on top of the Smashing head guy. Bad Jeopardy. Yeah, I feel like stuff like that's fun when you've got death coming at you. No, too slow. Come on. Ah! See, now that's basically a game over. If you don't make it through that level, basically game over. Let's see if there's a way of making that a bit more user-friendly. Now the mushroom's stuck. Haven't seen that before. Okay. Epic. Nice to see you, buddy. How you doing? Right, I feel like I want something vertical in this level. I need something almost like to partition off certain bits of this. Let's have a think. What tiles can I use for that? Let's use these guys. Something like that. How many levels do I have, Epic? I've got all my 7 levels. Oh, boom. That's what Fresh was pointing to before. If you get a mushroom right at the bottom and they get in the way of your spawn point, you are pretty screwed. How can we fix that? My spawn point is right here in the middle. I could put a wall just to the left. Something like that, maybe? That way, if the mushroom falls in just the right place, I've got some hope. Although it kind of involves me luring the mushroom. See, now I'm kind of stuck. I know. Death. Do you want a quick tour of the levels, Epic Noob? Might as well do a quick playthrough. So the first level is basically just introducing one enemy, which are these slow turtles, and they just patrol. They don't look at you, they don't really care about what you're doing. They just go their merry way, and you have to dodge them so you don't die. Level 2 introduces this smashing head guy, and there's one turtle just to make sure things are still difficult. And he just kind of comes at you, and if he gets you, he gets you. But He's quite slow, so there's not much of a problem getting past him. Then level 3, I've got these stones who kind of just chill until they see you, and if they've got line of sight, they'll come chase you. And they're quite fast. If you're far enough away, you're okay, but if you get close, they'll start coming at you. And then in the combination between that and the smashing head in the middle makes this quite starting to get a little bit tricky. Then level 4, I've got 2 routes through this one. Either you can try and get past the smashing head, or you can try and get past the trapped turtle. Now the trapped turtle is quite tricky because you need to basically have a door in and a door out, because you can't escape him once you've committed. So you kind of have to time it a little bit so that, yeah, there. You see, now I'm trapped and I'm probably going to die because he's just going to get to me. Yep. And if you don't want to mess with that, you can just kind of hang around over here and wait for your openings and just sneak past this guy. Then level 6 is Death by Mushroom. And the mushrooms are similar to the rocks, where they don't chase you unless they can see you. But they also fall through all the platforms. So they will basically get you. So you have to get past them quite quickly, because if they kind of gang up on you, there's no escaping. They will just game over you pretty quickly. Now, ghosts are my favorite so far. They kind of go invisible, and when they're invisible, you can run through them. But if they come back, they will take you out. Now, they don't chase you anything. They literally just going left and right. But I've thrown a bunch of them in the level, so there should be enough of them that you find it hard to keep track of where they're up to. And then level 7, I've introduced these angry guys, and these are actually the only NPCs in the game that are faster than the player is. So when they come charging at you, you cannot really run away. And when they see you, they will come at you hard. Boom, there, got me. And so I've got 1 life left now, so I've actually got to be a bit careful, because if I die once more, then I have to start back at the ground floor. And get to the final one, you win. You get a score and a time, and that's basically it. Not much more to it. Yep, I can jump whenever I want. So I'm not doing an exact clone of the original, because you're right, in the original you can only jump when there's a space above you. And even more so in the original, if you jump too soon or too late and you hit the sides, you lose health by hitting the sides. Whereas there's no damage from hitting the sides in this game. It's literally just bounce around as much as you want. So it's kind of like, it's more of a platformer trapped in the Leaper game than the actual Leaper game. I think it'll still be fun. Right now, I'm trying to deal with the conundrum of blocking obstacles versus not having blocking obstacles. So you can kind of see, if I'm on the ground floor, I can't run through the wall. But if I go 1 level up, I can now run through the wall. Which is just confusing, if you ask me. I kind of feel like the wall shouldn't really exist ever. It should always be a run-through thing. And then I'm going to put these obstacles in the game which are actually solid, and they will block the path of the player. But because of their sizing, they constantly get you kind of stuck in places you don't want to be. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how much of a problem that is. I might just add a self-destruct button so you can kind of soft unlock yourself when you get stuck. That's probably the easiest way. But right, let's just go through every level one by one and tweak it slightly. So currently we're looking at level 1. Let me have a look at the grid. Okay. All the blocks you can see now on the screen are player blocking. So these will stop the player from walking. So I'm just going to erase these and these. So now in theory the player can go through the wall at any point. Power-ups are hard. Power-ups, I would do invincibility and double jump or high jump. I guess a high jump's only really useful when two platforms line up. Maybe you could have a temporary power-up where the player can jump through the platform? Is that OP? That might be overpowered. So now my level is basically empty. Oh, don't want that one. I can run through all of the walls, which is quite nice. And I don't think I can get myself soft locked in this situation because there's nothing to get squished by. Nothing pushing up or down, so nothing's going to force me into a collider. So from that point of view, it's kind of nice that there's going to be no soft lock bugs here. But I'd like to do something to make it more visually appealing, the level. I want it to stand out somewhat. Yanni, I'm doing the far most extreme editor level possible ever. If I complete it, pledge to complete all 3 routes. Okay. I feel like this is dangerous. So I've had other people make multi-route levels, but what happens is I just find whichever route is the quickest to get to the finish line, and then I just stick to that one. So what you have to do is you have to make it ambiguous which of the 3 routes is the quickest, or I don't know. I haven't got collectibles. Collectibles are the other thing that would make you want to do more than one route. But basically, in order to... The objective of the game is basically just to get the quickest finishing time. And if one route through is faster than the others, or easier, I guess, then that's the one that you go for. Let me quickly give you one suggestion as well while you're playing the game. Where's fresh? Here. Have a go at this one. This is a level that Fresh made, and it is both really good and really bad. I've only completed it once, ever. Oh, did that not send for some reason? There. No, it's just that other two are used to lure the enemies out of the final path. Okay. Cool. Interesting. I'm intrigued. You have my attention. But basically, Fresh's level is really good insofar as that it's quite difficult, but in order to complete it, you have to use almost every mechanic that the player can think of. You have to use coyote time, you have to use short jumps, you have to use low jumps and high jumps, you have to use timed low ceiling jumps, so it's really detailed in its balance. I've only ever completed it once, and I've tried very hard to do it in a fast time, but I've not been able to. But what I would recommend is, if you're going for like epicness of level, try not to make it ridiculously difficult for no reason. I feel like Fresh's is frustratingly difficult in its way, but at least it is manageably difficult. I think any level that is harder than Fresh's is just not going to get played because people lose interest and don't really have the motivation to... Like, no one wants to do a ridiculously hard level for no reason. Is the camera zoom really 5 tiles high? Are you playing it in full screen? It's too zoomed in if you're playing it on the default resolution. Like, if you full screen it, that's better. For example... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's about 11 at this level, but if you full screen it, you get a bigger picture. I don't know what you were doing to get 5 tiles only. And you can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel on the editor. Okay, let's leave the first level just clean like this. I can just come back and improve it slightly later. So room 2, let's do the same thing again. I remove the foreground. That shows me that there are tiles that I can't pass. So let's erase some stuff. There. Now if I put the foreground back. Get these walls back in. Now it's dull, but safe. JJ, hey, nice to see you. Did you consider removing the side walls so it's clearer you can run to the other side? Okay, so currently what we're doing is we're trying to make the game more intuitive. There is a wall, which... So you can see the enemies. If you're watching the enemy behavior, right from the start, you can see that they are going through the walls. So obviously I can go through the walls. So you should be able to learn pretty quickly as the player that you can walk through the walls. The only thing I could do to make it more clear was, like you said, literally go in here on the foreground grid. And just take them out like that. Which I think just doesn't look brilliant. So the platforms are still going to be cut off by it. So there's still a hard line there. And there kind of has to be some kind of hiding of the player so that I can do the transforming in the background. Well, transforming, the teleporting. So, still not a huge fan. The walls looks like the floor, and it's pretty clear that's solid. Yeah, you're right, Bay. You are right. So I could use a different tile from the ceiling. Like that. So I could do that. And by distinguishing, making a different tile, that kind of makes it look more separate. Do I like that? Don't really like that. So that's an option. That's something that we could do. Not a huge fan of it, but that would be more clear to the player. You liked the frame before. What do you mean? The rocks all around? Yeah, this is the thing. The rocks all around does look better. And I think people will work it out. I think the main problem I had before was, before in the game, sometimes a wall was a wall and sometimes you could run through it, and that's inconsistent, and that makes it really hard for the player to gauge how to play the game. But I think as long as there's a consistency that walls are always you can always run through walls, that ceilings and floors are always solid, I think we're going to be okay. So I'm happy with that, but I want to do something more decorative to the level as well. Like, I really like just like putting more stuff in the corners. But I don't want to soft lock the player. What could I do here? Options are, I could make blocks hard, but just put them in random places so that they don't get you soft locked. I could make them not rigid body, and so they're just decorative. And so the player either goes ahead, in front or behind them. But the main purpose is I want to have levels like this one, where I can actually direct the player's movement. And I think I can't do that without potentially soft locking them by getting them stuck in an obstacle. Like, let's say I'm going to put this wall here. So the purpose of this is the player can't run through it. Oh, I've put it on the wrong layer. Let's go platform. Stick it here. So the purpose of this is that the player, but also the enemies, can't run through it. So there, can't run through it. That's all fine and dandy, up until the point where come on. Give me a second. That's all fine up until the point when the player does this. Oh, messed that up. Ah. Huh. Found it really easy to recreate that earlier. Brr. Maybe it's not that easy. It was happening quite a lot before, so why is it so hard now? Oh well. Maybe it's less of a problem than I thought. Oh well, we'll see. Don't think you need to add decoration inside, but you could add something to the top maybe. Is it bad that I am questioning how I programmed my version of Leaper? No. No, Epic. People forget things really quickly all the time. But I am tempted to slightly tweak the positioning of the platforms so that they line up better with the grid. Right, how do I want to do that? Something like that? Is that better or is that worse? The alternative is more like that. Makes for a very thick edge at the top there. Oh, see you later, Bay. I could do crush damage on the player. That is a good point, actually. That would mean that... how do I do that? Player... Apply damage or cause the death of the character when crushed. Getting crushed happens when your character is colliding on more than one direction. Crushing layer. Platforms. Did that not work? Okay, crusher layers. I think we just have platforms. Detection direction, both. Begin with, don't know. Die when crushed. Yep. Okay, that should do the trick. Could actually try and crush myself now. But that's fine. Let's say... a little stepping stone to stand on. Okay, don't do that, children. Okay, this should crush me now. Hey X, good to see you.
Nice.
How you doing? There we go. That's crush working. good. Now I've just got to be careful about where to place my blocks. Let's put nothing in level 1. How are you doing, Fresh? Not Fresh. How are you doing, X? Having a good day? Let's put something in here. Just a random wall. And I think I'm going to go and find all of my grids. And move all of these by 0.1, just to line everything up nicely. Oh, cool. How was your stream? You still working on your password manager? I had a good day. I am kind of a bit anxious about tomorrow because my daughter was sent home from nursery last week with, let's say, a soft stool. But she still has the exact same stool this week, and I'm worried that she'll be sent home again. So I might have to spend the rest of the week with my daughter rather than getting work done. Which, while I love my daughter, I do need to get some work done. So we'll see. Okay, that's a bit too much crush. I'm just walking into this and I'm being killed. I feel like I need a bit more padding on that. She's absolutely fine in terms of she's happy and she plays and, you know, she's not got a problem or anything. It's purely a stomach bug problem where the nursery doesn't want to take her if she's going to be infectious. So we'll have to wait and see. Oh no, is she alright? Thankfully my wife and I have had COVID, but the children... Well, the children probably had COVID too, but they've been fine. They've not been so bad that we've been worried about them. So they potentially didn't have COVID. Because we didn't test them when my wife and I were positive. Too much. Is she feeling better? Right, let's have a look at the player. Brush detection. Let's whack this up to 0.1. There we go. I can squeeze under and I'm not getting killed. That's probably better. I'll see if it's too high later. He's fine now, had pneumonia from it, but is fine and back to kindergarten again. That's good. Oh, pneumonia is horrible. Did you get lots of cuddles? I hate it when my children are sick, but the one benefit of having sick children is that they are very affectionate. They give you lots of cuddles. Now I wonder, do I even like that block where it is? Because all of the action is now on this side of the screen. Not sure about that. Lots of cuddles, good. Maybe I want another turtle? The point of this level is to introduce the smashing head. I actually do want the smashing head to be involved. Maybe if I just move this a little bit further over here. And then the turtle, have one over here. And one over here. Let's try that. Oh, not catching up on chat. What I'm doing is absolutely annihilative and deems no rationale. I'm scared. I'm terrified. Password Manager is kind of done. Did yesterday some design for a modern look. Oh, that's exciting. My game is hard, just not as hard as the original one. Okay. Good, Epic. Because the original one is unbeatable. You want it to be hard, but you want people to still complete it. The path to treasure is a bunch of one-tile tunnels with starfish enemies. So you have to lure each from the opposite side so you can outrun them later on the other. Oh, that sounds awful. Well, we'll see in a minute. I do kind of want to play it now. Try it, maybe you'd like it. Are you in Password Manager? I definitely will. I look forward to trying it. Okay. Now try not to die, Jan. Oh, this is dangerous. I've inadvertently made this level much harder than it needed to be. I think I need to move one of the turtles higher because there's no safety. Okay. Right. You are going up here. Okay. Oh. Fine. Okay, so now there's a safety zone. That's good. Means I can prepare for the next one. But this is quite hard considering it's only level 2. I might need to take it out again. But we'll see. Yeah, I might take the wall out again. It's only level 2, it shouldn't be that hard. Boonsweet, good to see you, buddy. How you doing? No, I'm just way ahead. I'm aware that I'm much further than I should be at this point. Okay, so I like this level, but it's too hard for level 2, so I'm gonna simplify it again. and maybe do something similar to this later on. Let's get rid of the block. And I might center this guy over here a bit. There. Okay, cool. Short and sweet, spoon sweet. Speak to you later. Xcoding, you should post a link to your password manager GitHub page in the chat in case anyone wants to go check it out. You should all give X a follow. He does interesting code projects on stream. Okay, level 3 now. I'm gonna again do some simplifying here. So first of all, grid, hide the foreground, and let's remove some platforms. Ooh, epic noob, excellent snooping skills. You found that pretty quickly. Okay, I think I might do 2 smashers in this level. Let's see what that feels like. Smash. Oh, run away. Smash again. Secure. Never safe. You're never safe. It's pretty manic already. That's nice. That's about the right difficulty level. Level 3. They'll pretty easily do a chill and wait. Boom. Yeah, this game is not forgiving. Oh dear. Serious attempt. Okay, cool. Still quite doable. Fine. Okay, now this one. Oh, this one needs a lot of clear. Okay, I think it makes a lot of sense. How's the... Smash head 1. Go in here. Okay. That's room 3. Room 4. Okay, let's give that a go. Okay, I can run through all the walls except these gold ones. That makes sense to me. I also can't get behind it, so that's good. Can't run that way. Can't run that way. Not getting squashed and crushed. Gotten through. Kind of walk on top. Maybe I should tweak that slightly. I don't want to be able to walk on top here. Is that better? Let's try that. Okay, that's better for this level. I think this may be slightly easier now. But fine. Okay, here we go. So room 4 we're happy with. Room 5. That looks good. I'm actually genuinely quite happy with that. Do we need anything more complicated for this level? Maybe more ghosts. Never have too many ghosts. It is very simple now that I've removed all the other obstacles. Maybe I should put a little bit of something in. How about... here and here. Here. Oh, did I make those? Okay, no, not gonna work. That's obviously wrong. Thanks, X. Not sold on the color yet, though. Put the bronze guys in instead. Oh, no! The ghost had got me. Yeah. Pretty happy with that. Then these guys are just devilish. Let's do another stone wall for the last room. Have a look at that. Oh, that looks good to me. Okay, it's a bit heavy on the grey. Let's see if I use a different platform. gold one maybe? It's basically the start again. Doesn't look great. Maybe the wooden platform? Not sold. So I think this is still the nicest. Do I want anything blocking style here? That might be a way to add some color in. Might make it very difficult, or it might make it very easy. Okay, I think the enemies need crush detection. Where's my pig? We want crush, platforms, both, and one, die when crushed. Okay. I mean, it's unlikely to happen again straight away, but... don't think I want them dropping through the holes. Let's make this collider a bit wide. Yeah, I think it makes the level easier. There's now a space where they can't see me. But still, I think it's more fun. Okay. But I might add a smashing head in here as well. Because why not? Nothing else, just to freak the player out. That's hard now. Thanks for stopping by, X. Speak to you later. Gets me every time. Okay, let's do a quick once through from the start. Just want to see how the whole thing plays through. And then we'll call it a night probably. Got some nice crush damage there. feel like this level got hard quick. Nice bit of rage noob. I like it. See you later, buddy. Have a good night. Now, good. This level's actually getting hard now. Ah, it got me! Oh. Ooh, we have a preview. Oh god. Really? I don't do precision platforming. Oh. Oh, you're killing me. Okay. Alone, I'm gonna have to probably try that level another day. Because it's almost time for sleepies. Funny, I wasn't planning to do so much level design on this stream. I was planning to do more polish, but I think it was worth it. I think the overall level plays better because of the changes we've made. And I've got a feeling it's going to be less buggy because of that too. Oh, managed to crush myself there somehow. Looks like we're missing some tiles on that one. Yep. Let's just fill those in quickly. Oop, oop. That's better. Okay, anyway. That's enough for one evening. Let's get those changes saved. Ooh, I wanted to add crush to the mushroom as well. Mushroom. Crush. And we're putting on platforms. 1. Both directions and die. Okay. Level rig. Tag for that? Yeah, it's probably worth a tag. Let's go with 1.1.1. Okay, so that build should be on itch in about 20 minutes. So if any of you are up for it, feel free to give that a play. Thanks, JJ. I've had to strip it back massively in terms of design, but I think it's worth having done that. They're just less buggy now, which means more likely for people to actually get through and play them properly. Cool. Not happy with this one here. I want this to be more sky than walls. If I switch it over to doing some brick. Does that look better? No, there's no sky tile. I think I prefer the bricks though. Slightly brighter at any rate. And the red matches with the mushrooms, so I'm happy with that. Cool. Brick wall. I might actually, while I'm looking at this, do something very unnecessary. Just change the levels up a bit. So just not quite symmetrical. Makes a little difference. Cool. Right, well that's Good enough for me. Alright, what do we need to do? Zoowraith. Where was Zoowraith today? Gosh, I am missing out. But yeah, Zoowraith, as always, thank you very much, even if you weren't here today. #1 supporter. Plug socials. If you're not already following me on Twitter, go check out my Twitter. I have a Discord where I post stuff sometimes. But most people already have me on other Discord channels. Gilded is awesome, but no one uses it. Still worth a mention. You should check out Gilded. And we're going to look for someone to raid. Have a look who's online.
I'll get behind.
Well, not what I usually do, but it's only Ethan is playing Valorant, so let's go check him out. We do this raid. It's only cool. We're gonna say hi. We're gonna go. Our raid message is going to be "Don't die." Let's just pop that through once we get the other side. And yeah, have a good time, guys. Whichever time zone you're in. I'm going to bed now, but have a good afternoons, evenings, mornings, wherever you are. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.